You might be married in North Carolina. No skydiving for you, you single lady.
What, can't get a husband? Can't go skydiving?
Commonwealth, the former empire, now Commonwealth. Is it relevant? Probably not. But why not give this part a shot? Stay tuned. Here comes Uncommonwealth, the podcast.
And we're live! Ugh, I hate the voice. We're live, guys, for the Uncommonwealth podcast. Let's send it off.
Let's send it off. Here we go.
I'm going to squirt it on over to Jimmy.
This week in Uncommonwealth delicacies and foods, I want to talk about Vegemite versus Marmite.
Ooh,
one classic, iconic Australian spread. The other classic, iconic British spread. Have you guys had either or?
I have not.
No.
You've not had either? Piers, I assume you've had at least Marmite. Have you had Vegemite as well?
Absolutely.
Do you prefer Marmite, being an Englishman?
Of course.
Yeah, be sacrilegious not to say no. Okay, so for those who haven't had it or don't know what it is, they're both they're savory pastes. They're a brown kind of sticky paste, but they're very salty. They're made from yeast, so they have a very unique flavor, and they're definitely a love it or hate it type of food.
What do you eat them on usually?
Yeah.
Toast, crackers?
Yeah, so the most common is toast or bread, just a sandwich. But the key, and this is what a lot of non-Australians or English, the error when, say, Americans try it, is they spread it quite liberally, like they would, say, Nutella or peanut butter or whatever. But you're not meant to put a lot on because they have a very, very strong flavor.
Yeah.
What else is in it other than yeast?
It's fermented yeast extract.
There's actually like a lot of health benefits because there are a lot of minerals and vitamins, which I'll get to.
It's like Australian kombucha.
Right. It's one of the pleasures in life as an Australian is watching someone like an American try Vegemite for the first time. Because it's kind of like those viral videos of when parents give their babies like a little wedge of lemon or something.
Nothing can prepare you for the flavor.
No.
There's no explanation of what it's
If you've not had it, words can't describe it. It's just a really unique but really salty, really malty.
Is it readily available in the United States?
Both are readily available in the United States. Yeah, they've become such like iconic.
I'm gonna go buy it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna buy both.
Haven't you ever seen those sort of hilarious when they do the country sort of like sections of supermarkets? Right. They've got like a British one, and that's always.
So Marmite came first, and although it's an iconic English spread, it was actually invented, in air quotes here, by a German scientist. He didn't quite invent as so much as accidentally discover, because he was working at a brewery.
That makes a lot of sense.
Is it a Nazi? Was he a
Nazi
was not
scientist?
A Nazi. Just assuming. Didn't the Nazis come up with like the Volkswagen and the Vegemite? Isn't that what they're known?
He's working at a brewery, and he essentially he found out like what is basically the runoff of the beer brewing process, like yeasty kind of goop. He realized that if you bottled that up and added a few things, it was actually quite a delicious little snack. So he started doing that, and then it's called Marmite because when he first started making it and it was first being manufactured, it was kept in a French pot, which is called a Marmite.
Oh, so it's just named after the thing? It was
literally named after the type of
container
it was first put in. Marmite was so popular because it was in World War I, it was in the soldiers' rations, and that's how it became popular in Australia, because all the Australian soldiers fighting alongside English people. The Marmite became super popular in Australia, but then after the First World War, you couldn't get Marmite in Australia, so a cheesemaker just decided, I'll make an Australian version of it, and that's where Vegemite came from.
So he was the Nazi then. Well, it's because of the war, so the Nazis are involved somehow. If you think about it.
Holy shit, I'm already out of time. I'm like on fucking line 3 of my 2-page Word document. All right.
Jimmy, we need to do another Vegemite part 2 because I want to learn more.
I mean, I'm good. If we don't do it, it's fine. I want to try them, though. I'm going to order them on Amazon and give it a try.
I think we should try them on the podcast while Jimmy does his second segment.
Wait.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I just feel like there's at least a page and a half that we haven't heard.
And I feel like it's the good stuff, too.
It is the good stuff.
The podcast.
A Zimbabwean student in University of California in Berkeley a few years ago volunteered to walk the entire length of the country to map it because he was unsatisfied with how the country had been represented, on Google Maps. Like he felt that his country deserved, as fair a share as Berkeley, say, had. So he volunteered himself to carry one of those cameras on his back the entire length, circumference, whatever, of Zimbabwe, and now it is very well represented in Google Maps. He did it himself. I think Google didn't even pay for it. I think he spent $5,000 of his own money.
That is so upsetting.
He covered 2,000 miles, 3,200 kilometers of Zimbabwe by himself with a camera on his back.
But I don't understand. Like, you'd have to like Google Maps needs images of everything, like not just the circumference. I don't get it.
Well, no, he crisscrossed the country. He went to the Victoria Falls. He went to the Harare, which is the big city, and walked all the streets. And it took him 2 years.
What?
Yeah.
That's insane. Wow. He should have grabbed a few tourists with him just to keep him company. Anyone visiting, say, hey, you want to check out the
Zimbabwean
the
Forrest Gump.
Yeah. The northeastern quadrant of Zimbabwe.
That's insane. Do you think he knew it was going to take 2 years when he decided to do it? Or did he just gets halfway through and he's like, well, I can't stop now?
I think it must have been.
I look like an idiot.
He got embarrassed. He's like, I can't have a super accurate Google Street View of the western side of Zimbabwe.
I feel kind of pissed at Google. They should have made a bigger deal of this and given him some sort of free stuff for life or something. I don't know.
It'd be awesome if he was 23 months into it and then his hard drive crashed.
Oh God,
Katherine, I think he got a free month subscription to YouTube TV.
Yeah, that's right. And then it just automatically renews and starts charging him.
So he was just upset at the cartographer's accuracy and how Zimbabwe was shown. And he's like, nah, screw that.
He felt his country deserved to be fully mapped. And I think it's one of the only countries in Africa that is properly mapped. This was in 2009, so I'm sure there have been a lot of...
Have you ever seen those Google street cars just driving around the streets?
Yeah.
I don't want to be on the thing. There's been robberies and stuff.
Some people wait their entire lives to be on those things. My little sister's desperate to be on one.
Really?
Yeah, I don't get it.
She's going Google car hunting.
Oh, people plan stuff. There's hilarious photos of people having sex, people dressed up as sort of bunnies, and
that's fun. Bunnies having sex.
Bunnies having sex. Yeah.
It's funny when stuff like that gets missed in an official publication or document or something. There was a company when I was an investment banker, one of my clients, in their annual, they did X-ray equipment at airports, and so they had a picture of one of their X-ray outputs on the cover of their annual report. So God knows how many people get that, right? And if you looked at the suitcase that was the image shown, you could see a bunch of stuff. And if you looked really carefully, right in the middle, huge dildo.
No.
And they just missed it. It's sort of that Australian ad campaign. It's out there somewhere. I don't know.
Well, when I first started as a junior lawyer, I worked for a pro bono legal clinic called the Public Interest Law Clearinghouse. And at one of our massive annual fundraisers, we printed 1,000 pamphlets that we're handing out to these big wig lawyers that were coming and donating. And instead of public interest, the L was somehow dropped out as a typo.
Oh my gosh.
So it's spelled pubic interest. And these are on our these are on our pamphlets at our biggest
pro bono pubic interest.
Uncommon Wealth.
And let's do a two truths and a lie. You guys ready? You geared up? Two truths and a lie. As always, I'll give you three things. You tell me which two are true and which is a lie. So we're gonna do two truths and a lie. Weird ways to get arrested.
Whoa.
Okay. And they're all from different countries, so this is kind of a fun one. So let me read all three before you opine. Okay. In Jamaica, Barbados, and St. Lucia, it is illegal to wear camouflage clothing. Number two, in Mexico, on a bicycle, you must keep both feet on the pedals. And in Spain, it's against the law to drive while wearing flip-flops. Which two are true and which is a lie?
Wow.
I think
it's hard to drive with flip-flops. Like that should be the law here.
I'm pretty sure that's a law in Australia.
Wow.
It's so dangerous. It can get stuck under the
stuck.
Oh, yeah.
I had that happen once. I was driving flip-flops for years, and then I had that happen, and I was like, I'm an idiot. And then since then, I've not done it.
But is it illegal?
Barefoot is better.
It so obviously should be illegal that it probably isn't. This is the Mueller mind at
The
play.
camouflage one, I could also see that being true if it was like it's reserved for army, like people in the army. But as a civilian, you can't do it to.
Right.
But
it kind of makes sense.
2 feet on a bicycle seems too obscure for Adam to make up.
I mean, it's great safety advice, but
have you met Adam?
A law?
He's gotten us with way
nothing
more.
is too obscure for Adam. I'm going truth, lie, truth.
So you're saying lies the pedals? Okay.
I'm going all true.
Oh, interesting.
I'm going same as Jimmy. I'm going truth, lie, truth.
They're all true.
Oh,
I get so annoyed when you guys get it right. When one of you gets it right.
Yeah.
All true. Isn't that crazy?
Adam, we need this to still want to do your segment. We need to win sometime.
No, damn it. Okay. That was very impressive, Catherine. The other two of you, haha, got you. You shall not pass. Okay. Again, 2 truths and a lie. Weird ways to get arrested. Number 1, an unmarried woman cannot go skydiving on a Sunday in Florida. Number 2, in North Carolina, if an unmarried man and woman register at a hotel as a married couple, they are legally married.
No.
And number 3, it is illegal to flip a coin. Okay, in Richmond, Virginia, it is illegal to flip a coin in a restaurant to see who pays for the meal.
These are all
lies.
Wait, where did the second one take place?
North Carolina.
Doesn't matter. There's no way that's true. There's no way that could be true that you could get, like, you need a officiant to get married. You can't just register at the front desk of a hotel.
In Florida, you can probably have your dog sit jury duty for you. So that one's probably.
But even in Vegas, when they do those weddings, there is an official government checkoff that they do.
You still have to get a license no matter
right,
how.
Yeah, that's what I said. The marriage license. Yeah, you can't check in at a hotel and it's like, oh shit, we're married now. We're a ball and chain here.
I think the first 2 are lies, and the final one about flipping a coin is somehow true.
Interesting.
I think
Jimmy,
so
what was
too.
your?
I agree.
I think they're all lies.
I'm going lie, truth.
They're all true.
No way.
Come on.
Not possible.
Can you give us some background on the first 2? I have to know more about the first 2.
I need to see the legislation to believe it.
It's a loophole. The second one. If an unmarried man and woman register as a married couple at a hotel, they are legally married in North Carolina. It's North Carolina.
That is the sneakiest way to get married.
Why in Florida an unmarried woman can't go skydiving on Sunday? That seems very weird. Oh.
If I register in North Carolina at a hotel, if I register as an admiral, am I suddenly
I think it's about
naval officer?
I think it's
also,
I don't maybe, but I think I'm not sure. But I
what
do know
does it mean register at a hotel?
Like you book a room and you sign the register.
Check in.
And you check in.
Yes.
You check in as a married couple.
They ask your marital status.
They don't ask your marital status when you check into a hotel.
In North Carolina, maybe.
Yeah, don't you be there having premarital sex.
You just got to get her to the hotel, boys. You just got to get her there.
I was going to say, be careful, you can get trapped. Your girlfriend is like, why don't we just register as a married couple? It'll be fun. Ha, ha, ha.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, oh, no.
Yes, because all women want to be married to men.
Catherine, tell us how you really feel.
That one struck a nerve.
What did you say, Catherine?
I just said yes, because all women want to be married to men.
But with even more.
Women are always trapping men. That's how it works. Yes.
You are married, right? You're married to a man.
I'm married to a man, but I think men trap women more than women trap men. That's such a.
Oh, I think that's so incorrect.
That's a hot take.
It's a super accurate hot take. I think men want to get married more often now than women.
Oh, I'd like to see some data.
Yes.
I'm sensing a new segment.
Catherine's unfounded.
Yes.
The podcast.
All right. Here's a new segment idea. Pandemics that change the course of history that aren't COVID. No, you know what? Nothing makes you feel better about a current pandemic than reading about worse ones. right? I really personally enjoy learning about the plague, learning about smallpox, which is what I want to talk about today. I don't know if you guys knew this,
it's exhilarating reading about.
Smallpox is just a terrible, terrible disease. Because if you think COVID is bad, you want some perspective, read about smallpox.
Don't like this. They don't.
So, killed millions, been around since AD. They have evidence. It's been around forever.
Wait, since AD?
Since AD.
Aren't we in AD now?
Do you mean BC?
Fuck. BC.
That technically could be last year.
It's been around since the Nixon administration.
Perfect. Can't wait for this segment to go live.
The dinosaurs roamed the earth. 500 AD.
Smallpox changed the course of history for a lot of reasons. One interesting fact, so both the Queen Elizabeth I, the last Tudor monarch of England, had smallpox, but she survived, which is pretty rare. And she actually ended up with, because it does actually call these little bumps all over you. She ended up with scars, and she used lots of lead makeup, which is what makeup was made out of at the time, to cover it up.
Terrible for you.
I'm sure if she'd lived long enough, she would have died from cancer from that lead makeup, but she didn't. The U.S. President Abraham Lincoln also had it during his time in office, but they both lived. Anyway, so many people died. In 1796, this is the craziest thing that I didn't know, an English doctor named Edward Jenner, probably no relation to, what's her name now, though?
Caitlin.
Caitlin Jenner. Edward Jenner. Although we are all related, as we learned earlier.
So Abraham Lincoln and Queen Elizabeth were related. So there we go. And they both beat smallpox, probably because of their genetics.
Edward Jenner performed an experiment that eventually became the first vaccination. So the first vaccine. And what happened is he noticed that milkmaids who had cowpox weren't getting as sick as people who had smallpox. And so he did an experiment. He inserted pus from a milkmaid with cowpox into the arms of a healthy 8-year-old boy, and then found out that there was some immunity developed so they knew that if you had smallpox later, you couldn't get it, right? So people with smallpox were asked who had already had it, to take care of people with smallpox. They didn't spread it. But this was the first attempt at a vaccine, and the boy didn't get sick.
Was it his own son, or was it?
I think they were like.
Where do you grab an 8-year-old boy?
paid him a few bucks.
I think the FDA regulations and standards were a little bit more lax back then.
But the crazy thing is, the word vaccination is derived from the Latin vacca, which means cow, because it comes from cowpox and milkmaids. So anyway, that was later. That very same theory was later used to create vaccines for yellow fever, mumps, rubella, tetanus. So pretty cool. And that's how smallpox was eventually eradicated, by that, using a similar tactic.
Does history remember the boy's name? I'm still concerned about this 8-year-old boy who changed the course of the world.
He was fine.
That's fascinating. I know, but he gets no credit.
If you're being the guinea pig.
We know the name vaccine of the dog that went into space, but we don't.
What's the name of the dog?
The doctor.
I forgot what the name is, but we know it. Someone knows it. Someone knows it.
Okay, fair enough.
Like the Empire, we're almost done. We hope that you've had lots of fun. Was it relevant? Probably not. But thanks for giving this part a shot. Stay tuned for the end of Uncommon Wealth, the podcast. Stay tuned for Uncommon Takes.
How far along are you, Katherine?
7 months.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You're definitely pregnant. If I didn't know you and you hadn't told me, I still wouldn't ask,
people.
The podcast.
Someone said to me this week, you do a great job on Pierce's podcast.
Shut up. No.
Oh no!
And I didn't say anything. I just said yeah, thank you.
Piers, are you secretly promoting it? Like, guys, come listen to my podcast. I got 3 recurring guests.
Yeah.
Recurring.
And unbeknownst to us, there's like 4 other episodes between each of these that we're not on.
Yeah.
You were all good today. I
on my podcast. I'll get you guys back next week.
Uncommon Wealth, the podcast.